Hello and welcome to Buzz in the Bend, Michiana's award-winning student talk show. I'm Sajanaya Grohl from John Adams High School.
And I'm Fernando Sanchez, also from John Adams High School.
It's kind of exciting, it's senior year.
I know, it's our last year of high school.
Yeah.
Like, it feels crazy because this is it. Like, if we wanted to, like, we could be done with, like, school entirely. Like, and I feel like a lot has changed too. Like, freshman year, like, was so different from now. And even, like, last year, because last year we were first year in this class, and now we're basically at the top. We're the anchors of Buzz in the Bend. So how are you feeling?
Honestly, really excited because even though this may be like the same desk we sat at, there's like a different meaning now.
Yeah.
It's almost as if like everything's just done over.
Yeah, and like it feels like really cool because like I'm following in my sister's footsteps, so like it kind of feels right. Like I'm continuing her legacy.
That is amazing because I remember that because we used to watch them.
Yeah.
Where was South Bend's largest gathering of performing visual and culinary artists this summer? At Artbeat, of course. Fernando, you got to attend the 19th annual event, didn't you?
Yes, with more than 500 artists, there was something for everyone. I'm Fernando Sanchez, here in downtown South Bend, reporting on the 19th annual Artbeat. It is an event filled with art and live music and so much more, so let's check it out. After walking around for a bit, listening to great music, and eating amazing food, I've had a great time at Artbeat. But probably my favorite part so far was getting this bag at one of the booths from the CTE Interactive Media program.
Okay, so we went from technically 2 booth spaces last year to 6 this year. Every single one of my junior kids last year wanted to be in it, so they're all here.
It's important for me to be at this event because of not only the experience, but I get to see so many varieties of people.
I feel like it would be nice for me to just like expose myself into like selling stuff because that's what I want to do in the future.
So this is actually a looser model of work-based learning. So these kids aren't just making art, they're selling it, they're promoting it, they're marketing it.
So, can you tell me what your class is like and how you guys work together?
Like we could be ourselves. Like it's very, we're very comfortable in the class. We are very respectful with each other. We tell everyone, inspire everyone.
We kind of build each other up, but then we're also good at like being like, no, that's a dumb idea, but like not getting our feelings hurt. So I like working with him a lot.
And it's just amazing to see like how many people come together to celebrate like one thing, which is art. And I think that's amazing.
Well, I had a blast, but if you missed it, don't fear, because it'll be back around next year for the 20th annual Artbeat. Reporting for Buzz in the Bend, I'm Fernando Sanchez.
It looks like you had a lot of fun. I know you arrived in the afternoon, but it seems like you squeezed in a lot. Did you get anything that like caught your eye?
Yeah, I was able to pick up a couple of things. It did hurt my pockets, but I think it was worth it. I really tried to like buy things from like local stuff like that I support. Like I bought this painting from the Logan Center, and they were telling me the story of the painter and how he's really talented. And I also bought this one bag from the clay booth, and I think it was like really cool. I love supporting South Bend schools, so I think I was able to get stuff that were really cool.
That's amazing.
Last Saturday, there was a chance for kids to spread their wings and fly high. Tayana White was there to catch the action.
Hi, I'm Tiana, and today we are here at South Bend's International Airport for Aviation Day. Let's go take flight and see what more they have in store for us.
South Bend Airport's aviation education started out 4 years ago as a way for area Boy Scouts to get their Merit Aviation Badge. Since then, Ashley Thorson, operations manager for the airport, says the event has grown.
It's expanded, as you can see. We've had over 1,000 people today come to this event. It's expanded to, again, show the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Young Eagles, anybody that wants to learn about aviation. There are different things to do, and show what an asset South Bend is to the community.
Among the activities were equipment and drone demonstrations, crafts and food, and even on-site job hiring.
There is a pilot shortage, obviously, but again, these people aren't necessarily pilots. They are janitorial staff, there are airlines, there are partners that work underwing for our airplanes. So it's a collaborative effort by everybody to try and just attain good talent for the airport.
To help create future interest in the industry, visitors were offered a chance to sit in the pilot seat of a plane or even go for a short flight. More than 1,000 people attended the 4th annual event. Thorson hopes this little taste of aviation will spark a lifelong passion for many visitors.
Just familiarize yourself with the airport, familiarize yourself with aviation, and then fall in love.
I've had fun walking around and experiencing all the planes, but for now I think I'll keep my feet on the ground. I'm Tiana from Buzz and Ben, signing out.
So it appears that they did a lot. I think it's really cool, like, that there's an aviation CTE. Like, I feel like that's really unique. So what do you think about it?
I think it's really cool. I know one of my friends is in the aviation CTE. I don't know if she went down to the aviation day thing, but honestly that's really interesting because I know as a little kid I was terrified of airplanes.
Have you been on airplanes?
No.
You've never been on an airplane?
No, I've never flew.
I've actually been on a couple airplanes. I started when I was like around 4, I think, and I've gone like, I think 5 times on a plane. I'm not, well, actually like double that, like 10, because, you know.
You have to go back.
You have to go back. So yeah, it appears like Tayana did a lot, and I know I did a lot on the weekend too. Did you do anything on the weekend?
Actually, I did. Did you know that the past came alive in South Bend last weekend? From the Renaissance and the golden age of piracy to Viking times and even fairy tale land, Olivia Charleston and I got to travel back in time. I'm Sejanaya Grohl, here with a blast from the past from the 4-H Fairgrounds with the Renaissance Fair. With so much to do and so little time, Olivia and I tried to get the most of our ancient experience. We started our day off with a jousting match. 3 tests took place, only to end in a draw. Afterwards, we met with a woodworker who also enjoyed the jousting match taking place behind his tent.
I started doing Michiana in 17 or 18, roundabouts there. And aside from, of course, the last couple years, I've been doing it consistently ever since then. Everything you see here is the natural color and grain of the wood. I don't stain or dye any of my products. So you're seeing different types of wood from all over the world that bring out these natural colors.
With little time to spare, we hurried over to the Queen's Court, where shortly after we stumbled upon a jewelry stand with an owner far more knowledgeable in the ways of the fair.
I have been selling at Renaissance Fair since 1988. You come in, you put up your tent, you put your toys out, and you spend the rest of the weekend rearranging it as things disappeared.
After we received our newfound knowledge, we took to the fair one last time with sword fighting and axe throwing. Sadly, we had to leave Olivia behind as she was arrested and thrown in jail.
Why were you arrested again? I'm underdressed. Yes.
What was your favorite part of the fair?
I'd probably have to say either sword fighting or axe throwing.
Axe, or like an actual axe?
Yeah, I did. It wasn't a very big axe, so it wasn't like how you see a Viking.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty average-sized axe. It wasn't very heavy though, so I think I threw it a little too hard.
Were you good at it though?
My first throw, when I went one-handed, I was able to hit the target, and then every other throw after that, I didn't hit the target.
I would just be scared because like I feel like wouldn't they bounce back if you do it too hard?
They do, but they had this thing where like they had lines where you weren't supposed to walk because there was an area where the bounce back would hit you. It's still really scary though because you bounce back and it makes this really loud noise.
Recently, Alex Almanza visited his former teacher who has been making an impact on children for generations.
As school gets back in session, teachers are welcoming some smiling faces back into their classrooms. However, one South Bend school teacher is proving that passion can sometimes outlive retirement.
Alex Almanza joins us live in studio. And Alex, she was your teacher at some point, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. She was my 2nd grade teacher over 12 years ago, and even then, she has seen it all. She spent decades with the South Bend Community School Corporation as a school teacher, pouring out her heart and wisdom without missing a beat.
Good morning. If you're going to breakfast, go on around.
There's a first time for everything. It's the first day of school for these Marshall Traditional School students. Kindergarten through 5th grade all starting their first day in some way. But for one person in this building, that first day of school has come and gone 68 times. Over 80 if you count the years she was in school. This is Miss Beck. She's starting her 68th year of teaching today.
I love it. I love teaching.
She's a reading specialist here at Marshall. Ms. Beck has taught generations of children. She even teaches kids now that have grandparents that she taught. Ms. Beck says that she could have retired years ago. She recently got a taste of the sedentary lifestyle when she sustained an injury and couldn't come to work.
I had to stay home for a sore on my leg for a while, and it was very boring. And I see kids there that need the help, and it's just really a thrill to see them learn something. To me, it's not a chore, it's something I love to do.
Ms. Beck has had a huge impact on her community in ways other than teaching. Beck was a longtime South Bend City Council member in the 80s.
I was our first woman president. I was proud of that, you know. But the guys on the council says, you can do it, and so I did do it. But I didn't quit my day job. I kept on teaching. But I like to feel like I did a good job for my district. It was a nice experience, it really was.
Beck has no plans to retire from teaching anytime soon. She says a lot of her fellow colleagues have gone to other school districts, both public and private. Her refusal to move into another district is held down by love for her community.
I don't see that that's a goal of mine to retire. I love what I'm doing, and hope to keep doing it as long as my brain holds out. I still work crossword puzzles and Sudoku and things like that every day, so I guess that keeps my brain going.
Now, you may have noticed Ms. Beck's classroom looked a bit empty today. As a reading specialist, kids usually are sent to her classroom to get assistance in reading. That will start to happen over the next few days as kids get settled in. She tells me that those who are sent to her classroom never want to leave.
Yeah, and I don't think they want her to leave
No.
Fantastic. Alex, thank you so much.
I actually think it's really cool that he got to visit his former teacher because he's in college now and she's still teaching and she still plans to teach. So how do you feel about it?
She must be a really good teacher because she's left an effect on not only him but other very young generations.
And I think like that's something to be proud of, like to be that involved with kids like for like years, and I think that's really cool.
In addition to doing stories like the one we just watched, Alex is now a junior at Ball State. Jadianise Soto sat down with him to learn more about his amazing opportunities in media.
From classroom to newsroom, Alex credits his time at Riley as instrumental to his success.
I think this program really teaches you a lot of different things that you didn't even know that you needed. If you're someone that talks to other people, then I think this is a class that really prepares you for that.
And all that hard work paid off when WNDU gave him a full-time summer job.
I signed up for a editor position at WNDU, and that was just Sunday mornings, maybe 8 hours. But over the years, it's just kind of grown, and I've taken those talents far beyond what I've started with. Over the summer, I worked over 40 hours.
One of the biggest stories he helped cover gained national attention.
I took up some pretty national stories. One of the biggest was the Walorski, our Congresswoman Jackie Walorski, tragically died in a car crash. I had the opportunity to go with a reporter to talk with Jackie Walorski's husband, Dean Swihart. What I thought would be a 2-hour interview ended up being hours of just talking to them.
Not long after his coverage on the Walorski incident, Alex got some good news from his boss.
One of my assignment editors came up to me and he's like, you know, we've been thinking about it. I think we kind of want to give you an opportunity at the anchor desk because it's been talked about for a bit and you've done stuff down at Ball State. So I got up at the anchor desk and I anchored a half-hour noon newscast. And I got to say, it was pretty interesting. It was a really good experience.
We look forward to seeing where Alex goes next. Reporting for Buzz in the Bend, I'm Jadianise Soto.
Honestly, that's really amazing that he's still doing news and media, and it all started right here where we are.
Fall sports are in full swing. Here's Cooper Van Driesch with the latest for South Bend schools.
As the sun starts to set on summer, the lights on the football field turn back on, and that tells us that Friday night high school football is back. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Cooper Van Driesch. As we enter week 3 of football this evening, one South Bend High School got off to a fresh start this season after winning only 1 game last year. I caught up with South Bend Riley head football coach Dark Lee to talk about what makes his team special.
I think the biggest thing that makes us special this year is that we've got some camaraderie. You know, we continue to fight together, learn together, grow together, and get better. You know, it hasn't always been easy, but everything that we do together.
Looking at how the other 3 South Bend schools have fared so far this season, Adams opened up their schedule with one of the toughest opponents possible, Northridge, the 2021 IHSAA state runner-up. Although they fell to the Raiders, the Eagles and their new head coach continue to show promise and keep developing as the season moves forward. Over at Clay and Washington, both teams have struggled on both sides of the ball, but they look to change that tonight when they take the field for their 3rd game of the season. Football is the pride and joy of every school's athletic department, and although Adams, Clay, and Washington haven't waved the victory flag for their school yet, all 3 teams show promise as the season continues. Let's take a look at the South Bend matchups for tonight. 1-1 South Bend Riley will take on crosstown rival 0-2 Adams tonight at Jackson Field. 0-2 South Bend Clay will take on Hammond Central away. And lastly, 0-2 South Bend Washington will take on Kankakee Valley at home tonight. Let's spike, sprint, chip, and serve our way over to the other sports going on in the corporation. Last night, all 4 South Bend schools competed in the annual cross-country city meet at Erskine Golf Course. One of the best runners in the conference, Austin Ritrock from South Bend Riley, raced last night, is looking to have another dominant season this year after he made it all the way to semi-state last year. Over at Adams, the boys soccer team is coming off one of their best seasons in recent memory. Last year, the Eagles won the sectional championship and made it all the way to the regional final. Currently, the team record sits at 3 wins and 1 tie. Looking at the Colonials of Clay High School, their girls volleyball team won a thrilling 5-set match against Bremen in NIC play on Tuesday. Conference matchups are extremely important, and Malia Freeman and Abby Short helped lead the Colonials to an NIC win. Finishing up our school wrap-up with the pride of the West Side, South Bend, Washington, the boys tennis team kicked off their season last week and started off with a big win over rival South Bend school Clay, winning 4-1. Moving over to college athletics, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team is getting ready to kick off their 2022 season this weekend. The number 5 ranked Irish will travel to Columbus, Ohio to take on the number 2 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. The game between the 2 schools has gained national attention due to the height of the matchup, so much so that sports network ESPN announced they will take their flagship show, College Game Day, on the road to Columbus for the game. As with any season, hopes are very high for the Irish, but this year expectations are especially high as new football coach Marcus Freeman begins his first season as head coach for Notre Dame. Freeman was hired back in December to replace Brian Kelly, who departed for the same job at LSU. There was no doubt that Marcus Freeman will be up against a challenge this weekend. The Buckeyes are 17.5-point favorites and haven't lost an opening season game in 22 years. This doesn't scare Freeman, though, as his team has prepared to enter the horseshoe by simulating the environment during practice. Kickoff is tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. on ABC. You can learn more about the Irish's chances against Ohio State on my Notre Dame sports talk show, The Independents, which airs tonight at 5:30 p.m. on WETL 91.7 FM. That about wraps it up for this edition of Sports Zone. I'm Cooper Van Driesch. Back to you guys at the anchor desk.
Before we go, flying paper airplanes usually isn't allowed in school, but a dozen Riley students in beginning aerospace class got a special chance to do just that. The students recently conducted a test run of their prototype planes, throwing them off a second-floor balcony to see how well and far the models would fly. Teacher Seth Ponder says it's a good experiment to start the year because paper airplanes and real airplanes follow the same rules of aerodynamics. The furthest plane glided a total of 76 feet. Students plan to improve their designs and try to experiment again soon.
Thank you for joining us for this week's edition of Buzz in the Bend.
As always, be sure to click that subscribe button and tap the bell icon to get notified when we upload a new video.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Tune in to our radio station, WETL 91.7 FM The Mix.
Find out how you can become a WETL sponsor by visiting www.sbstvradio.org.
Have a great day.